been so long since I watched it. For those who don't know, I have been a fan of Shoe0nHead since about 2015, 2016. But I was there. I was there during the first culture war. I found her through Armor Skeptic because I was in the skeptic community and I was a massive, massive fan of Armor Skeptic back in the day. Then they started dating and I was actually a little bit jealous of her. Okay, a lot of jealous of her because I really liked him a lot. I remember her talking about back in the day how she was a fan of him too, and when she would make her older videos, she would actually wear Armor Skeptic merch, hoping he would like find her or somebody would tell him about her, and actually worked in her favor because he did actually find her, and then they started dating, and I thought they were a really cute couple. But anyway, we don't talk about that part because like I said, I was part of the skeptic community, so I watched Armor Skeptic, Logic, Dark Matter 2025, Vibe Overloaded, Jacqueline Glenn, and then I also got into the political section, obviously, like Sargon of Akkad, V, Arch, Louis Levi. Oh, I love Louis so much. Oh, Pastor Louis. I just a bunch of people basically from that time period I was really involved with as a teenager in high school. And so I was there. I am old. I am old and decrepit and decayed. I'm very curious to see how this video goes because I still like Shoe to this day. Do I agree with her on every single point? Of course not. Do I like everything she's ever done in her little YouTube career? No. But do I still like her? Yes. I still think she's funny. I'm very happy and proud of her because now she is married with a kid to a better man. I'm very happy for her and also still jealous. That's one of the main reasons why I actually want to watch this video here.
So the other day I saw a tweet. I feel like all my videos start out like that. The other day, I saw a tweet that said, "Woke One was crazy," attached to the infamous photo of Nancy Pelosi and a bunch of Democrat politicians kneeling in African costumes back in 2020 to honor George Floyd. What a fever dream. There were many similar posts from people talking about how crazy Woke One was, or Woke 1.0 as they call it. Leftists talking about what they did wrong during Woke 1.0, how they came off too strongly with things like abolish the police, and how they'll do things differently during Woke 2.0. Yeah. You'll get him next time, champ. And don't get me wrong, 2020 was crazy. At the time, I was a bit preoccupied trying my hardest to get Bernie Sanders and Tulsi Gabbard elected. I don't want to talk about it, but yes.
Oh, I'm sorry, Shu. I paused in a bad frame again. I know she doesn't want to talk about it, but I'm going to talk about it because I'm a bitch to her for no reason. I'm sorry, Shu. Oh, but I remember that because, I mean, to be fair, in her defense, she was a Bernie bro back in 2016 as well. She was a massive Bernie bro back then. And to be fair, I actually kind of liked Bernie Sanders back in 2016 too. I mean, even Sargon liked Bernie Sanders in 2016. He actually appealed to a lot of people by being a center-left populist possibility. But then Bernie got fucking gypped out of the primary on purpose. Came out and said how they screwed him over. And that gained a lot more support just because it was very clear how unfair treatment he was. When 2020 comes around, it's kind of like his rematch in a way. However, by 2020, I was not a Bernie supporter. I basically took the Sargonian position on Bernie Sanders. And so I liked Bernie in 2016. But when he got ousted, it was like, okay, well, Trump's going to be better than Hillary because lesser of two evils situation. But then 2020 came around, it's like, okay, Trump is a million times better than Bernie Sanders. A lot better. And I did vote for him that time because I was too young to vote for him in 2016. In 2020, I did vote for him. Not Bernie, but in Shu's case, going back to her, she's always been socialist. She's never changed that position. Do I really agree with her on that standpoint? Not really, but I can understand where she's coming from because from 2016 to now, where she has changed on the socialist position is not for socialism for all, but socialism for your own people. In fact, there's a video she made like a year ago now or something like that, but she called that national shoe-socialism, basically. And that is a brand of socialism that I can actually kind of get behind, even if I'm personally not supportive of it, you know? Like, I can see the appeal of it. And so her supporting Bernie 2020 is really not that surprising, even if it is unfortunate.
From what I remember, 2020 was crazy, but that was not Woke 1.0. Woke 1.0 started long ago. Long ago when being woke was called being an SJW. Back when Anita Sarkeesian was public enemy #1. And I identify as an attack helicopter, believe it or not, was a joke young people told, and not your 65-year-old uncle on Facebook. You see,
I still kind of make those jokes. But when I was younger, my personal joke was that I was a burb. Not a bird, a burb. I stole the burb part off Tumblr. It was some stupid meme that is long forgotten at this point. It was a really fat yellow bird. It was called the burb, and that was the joke. And so when I was in high school, I would say I identify as a burb. I have boomer humor. It's fine. I bring up SJW a lot. In fact, when woke was being termed around 2020, 2022-ish, it really irritated me because I felt like once again they were changing the language. Because leftists always like to subvert the language as much as possible. And SJW it stands for social justice warrior, which is what they call themselves on Tumblr because it made them sound really cool, being like, yes, I'm an advocate of social justice. And I was an actual unironic SJW because I was on Tumblr for a couple years before I found, Sargon and everybody like that. And I actually did call myself an SJW because it sounded cool. You're a warrior. You're an advocate for social justice, for righting the wrongs of the world. But then in that time period, they changed the language to be from SJW the woke. And I'm like, no, you're SJW. That is your label. Do not try to switch the labels around again. You subversive piece of shits. But then right started adopting the term woke as well because the leftists were calling themselves woke and then turned it into an insult, which is like what they did with SJW. After a while, it's just like, okay, fine, I'll capitulate. I'll call it woke too. You have to use the terms for the discussion. And if you use a archaic term like SJW, most people don't actually know what that means anymore. But people know what woke is. And that's one thing I'm proud about is that when I was in SJW, I never went full communist. I was just indoctrinated into the whole civil rights kind of bullshit. I was just like, why can't gays marry? Why can't women get paid the same amount as men? Why do we live in a rape culture? It was only after a couple of years of that, because I got so politically involved when I was 12, and then having my dad as well, when he started actively hating men, that was the big shift, was when Tumblr was actually calling for the death of men. I remember that clearly. I was in 8th grade, and I was sitting there in class thinking about the recent posts that I saw about how they were calling for the death of men. And I'm just like, how could they do that? My dad's amazing, and I'm dealing with all this shit from my mom. How can they just do this? I'm looking at the guys in class, and they're funny. They're really great guys. How can you just call for the death of half the human race? Like, that was too far. And on top of that too, at that point in time, I was watching Armor Skeptic, and through Armor Skeptic, that's how I found Sargon. And I remember hearing his name on Tumblr being demonized about how evil he was. I specifically remember looking up his name on tumblr.com just to kind of be like, okay, I know I've seen his name before. How bad of a guy is this? And I saw him. They're all calling him like misogynistic and evil and all this kind of stuff. I'm just like, okay, these are the same people calling for the death of men. I don't know if I really believe that. And I was like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm gonna check this guy out. And then I fell in love with Sargon. And that's how I really started shifting to the right through Sargon.
Woke 1.0 was not George Floyd and COVID masks. No. This was Woke 1.0.
Learn what mansplaining is, and then stop doing it.
Oh my god, mansplaining and manspreading were so fucking retarded. When I was in SJW, I liked mansplaining because it has been multiple times before in my life where I would say something and the man would interrupt me and then try to explain it better, and that would be annoying. But like, that's annoying when anybody does that in general. But manspreading I could never get behind because I'm just like, they have balls. They can't crush their balls.
Hello and welcome to the Shoe0nHead channel. I am your host, Shoe0nHead. You may also know me on Reddit as every e-girl combined into one insufferable millennial woman with fetal alcohol syndrome, or perhaps just Asmongold on HRT. As I am filming this, it is the 12th anniversary of my first video on this channel.
Oh, that's a good video.
12 years a slave to the algorithm. So in this video, we are going to react to that video as well as a few other old videos of mine. We're gonna see how well or how terrible everything has aged, because let's be real, a lot of this shit aged like milk.
No, like wine. Unfortunately, the problem with the political discourse this day, and the reason why I'm so burnt out about it, is because nothing has really changed from 2016. If anything, things have only gotten worse. Like Spain, the Moroccan invasion that's happening at the moment, like things have only gotten worse, not better, in the past 10 plus years. And it's just exhausting.
Wait, why is that arrow pointing this way? What the We are going to talk about Woke 1.0, the ancient lore of me and my channel, how the Overton window has shifted so far since then, how stupid everything looks back then in comparison to things happening today. I feel like every morning we wake up and we are living through yet another historical event. The news moves so fast. There's pressure to react instantly, to pick a side, to condemn, to support. But the reality is, when a story first breaks, we're not seeing the full picture. And that's why for years now I have been using today's sponsor, Ground News. So let's quickly give them a shout out before we get into this video. Ground News is a website and an app that lets you see how news stories are being covered all across the political spectrum, from left, right, and center. Every story comes with a quick visual breakdown of the political bias, ownership, and headlines that helps you understand the full story and make sure you're getting both sides. They make it really easy to compare headlines to see how political bias and media ownership can affect the framing of a story. For example, let's check out this story about how Republicans in Congress continue to back Iran war despite the political risk. On the left, you'll see the headlines about this are like, Iran war keeps dashing GOP's midterm hopes. And this is how a right-wing outlet covers the same story. Tucker Carlson claims Israel controls US politics, force Trump into Iran war. Very different focuses here, very different vibes going on here. But my favorite feature of Ground News is definitely the blind spot feature. It shows you news stories that have been covered by one side of the political spectrum and ignored by the other. For example, here is another story about how the Iran war is deeply unpopular with even Trump's voters. 39 sources covered this.
I mean, I could have told you that, frankly, myself, but I get you're trying to do an ad read, Shoe, so I won't diss it too much.
64% were left-wing, and only 14 were right-wing. Right-wing media trying to avoid how even their own fan base are sick of this war. And here's a story about how Ilhan Omar's sister is apparently linked to Minnesota's fraud scandal. 100% of the sources that covered this story are right-wing. No left-wing outlets have covered this story. There are so many examples like this, and Ground News makes it really easy to just lay it all out in the open. I've been using Ground News for years now, and it is one of my favorite apps. Even the Nobel Peace Center recognized Ground News as an excellent way to stay informed, avoid echo chambers, and expand your worldview.
I don't know if I can really trust the Nobel Peace Center, I'll be honest. But hey, get that bag. And there's worse sponsors to have. I'm not gonna diss your sponsor, but yeah.
Praise. Best of all, I am currently offering 40% off their Vantage plan, which is the plan I use to access all their amazing features. To get the 40% off discount, go to ground.news/shoe or use the QR code on screen right here, or click the link in the video description down below to subscribe to their Vantage plan today. Big thank you to Ground News for sponsoring this video, and thank you, the viewer, as always, for not skipping
I'm covering up the
And now,
QR
back to the
code.
video. One of the most funny and like endearing things that have been happening lately is people will discover my channel and then they'll make reaction videos to my videos, and they'll title them things like, Shoe0nHead is done with the left. Shoe0nHead is finally waking up. And it's like, I've been woken up. Do not cite the anti-woke magic to me, Nuxtaku. I was there when it was written. Before your girl was commie mommy, for better or worse, I was one of the founding fathers of anti-woke content on the internet. I saw this one tweet that was like, the idea there was a woke one is the most jarring to America's moment I've ever had. Really, bitch? I mean, like, I get it. I would pretend it never happened too. It was very embarrassing, but really, bitch? I was there when Bernie Sanders was talking about unions and has microphones snatched by Black Lives Matter. That was basically the birth of my entire political worldview. You can't pretend that shit never happened. I was there when a grown-ass scientist was harassed and brought to tears for daring to wear—
I wonder if he's gonna bring up Mattress Girl. She used to be famous. She was like a quintessential advocate for feminism back in the day, and I have never forgotten her. This is during the whole culture, you know, patriarchy, more feminist, because the thing about social justice is that it goes through waves. So the first wave was mostly about feminism and women and male impressions with a lot of the gay shit, but then it evolved to be about blacks, and then it evolved to be about trannies, and then now it's like Palestine. And the Mattress Girl was during the original like feminism wave, where this bitch, this Asian ugly bitch, claimed that she was at her college campus, and then she grabbed her mattress, and then she, she lugged it around, this heavy, awful mattress around her whole college campus, because she's a poor, innocent victim, and her college didn't do anything about being being a rape victim, because more patriarchy and all this fun stuff. And she was super famous for it. And then guess what? It was faked. Who could have guessed? A woman lying about being raped? Imagine my shock. She got a guy's life destroyed because of it too, because that's what women do. That's what women do.
Wear a shirt with like cartoon pinup girls on it. We need Nuremberg trials for all the 2010s. You should legally be forced to wear some kind of patch on you in public to identify you as a woke 1.0 freak. When I saw that tweet,
Oh my god. Speaking of guys getting their lives destroyed from fake allegations during that time period, there was one story I remember where this guy had fake rape allegations against him, and it was, of course, a lie. Basically, his life got destroyed, he got kicked out of college, lost his job, all that fun stuff, and then he killed himself. And after he killed himself, his mother and I believe his sister, if I remember correctly, but I know for a fact his mother also killed himself afterward, because his life got destroyed because of the allegations, and then he killed himself, and then what happened to him basically ruined their life as well. And so basically this whole entire family got wiped out because of these allegations that were untrue. This bitch lied because she either regretted having sex with him, or she just wanted the attention, or both, or whatever the case is, and a whole entire family committed suicide over it, essentially. I'm glad we've kind of passed that point, but I know that still happens to this day. I think any woman who cries rape needs to get hanged at the bare minimum. Okay, I want the death penalty back for a lot of things, and I think a woman who cries rape is one of them, because you're destroying a man's life and his family's life because you were a whore.
I really had to stop writing my other video to make this one because I was like, okay, I'm not gonna let these people rewrite history. We're not gonna let you write the history books, okay? Who do you think you are? Ghislaine Maxwell's father? So I'm going to be talking about 4 different videos
That's
here.
a good joke.
Oppression Olympics, Social Justice League vs. Gamers, Average is Beautiful, and Questions for Men Answered by Women.
I remember
I'm not
these
going to be
videos.
showing the full videos because this video would be 4 hours long, so if you want to watch the full videos, the links will be in the description. Thank you. I love you. Bye-bye. So Oppression Olympics was my first cultural political video, uploaded July of 2014. 12 years ago. How old were you guys 12 years ago? I am like 60 years old in internet years, like 204 years old in e-girl years. If you have been here, if you have been with me for that long, you deserve like some kind of reparations or something. Like, you have seen some All right.
I mean, I wasn't here for that long. Like, I came in like 2015, 2016, roughly. So, if you hear me and you weren't like scared off with me talking about past history because I'm a bitch and all that fun stuff, can I still get something, please? Please, Sue? Sue, Dami, mommy, call me mommy, please. Can I still get something?
About to watch it. I am so scared. I haven't watched this in years.
Hey there, pretty lady. Do you wear heels? Do you wear makeup? Do you want to go on a diet and get thin? Don't do any of those things. Hey, I'm a feminist. That's right, a feminist in 2014 America.
Can my voice even do that anymore? 2014 America! Oh, I can. Okay, never mind. Pretend I didn't do that. All
Wait,
right, let's go.
I'm blocking her reaction. Oh my god, my fat fucking ass is blocking her reaction. Hold on, give me a second to move myself around.
What does that mean? That means I want you to stoop down to my level. And that means don't go on a diet, don't wear heels, don't do makeup, don't do your hair, don't try to look pretty. I get catcalls all the time and I hate it. I just love vlogging about it though, and I love blogging about it on my Tumblr. And shaving? Forget shaving. Don't shave. This video game character is dressed too sexily. I don't like it. Change it. I'm dressed too sexily and you don't like it? Stop oppressing me. Did you guys know that rape is bad? Rape is bad.
Disagree. Rape is good. Rape is based only when white guys do it, though. If you are darker than a Southern Italian, then it's bad. But rape is good.
Does anybody know this? Rape is bad. And if you're not a feminist, you're pro.
Well, good thing I'm not a feminist then.
Oh, good, it's over.
That
Oh, fuck, she's back.
Feminism in 2014 America is completely pointless. It's just a label that people are putting on themselves to feel
sounds so
special.
young.
Because
Why do I sound so cute? It's just a label people are putting on themselves, like, aw, someone protect her. She doesn't know how bad it's gonna get.
it's the
In the Shoe's defense, the more you speak, your voice kind of fades and deepens. This happens to actually a lot of female content creators, and just content creators in general, because you are talking so much, then it does actually make your voice fade. Like, if you go back to my first streams, oh my god, I sound so much different too. And that was only like a couple years ago now. It's pretty common. No wonder she sounds so cute and young and happy.
special snowflake oppression Olympics. Everyone is in this big race to be the most progressive and the most open-minded and the most oppressed. It is the strangest thing I have ever seen, and it's like infesting like the internet, and it's starting to seep out into the real world. And like, I really don't like it.
So a little lore behind this video before we continue. First of all, Obama was president. Okay, this was before the Trump era. In fact, this was like months before Gamergate even popped off. This is ancient. Some of you don't even remember a time before Trump. Like, Trump is your normal. You don't remember what the political and cultural landscape was like before Trump. That is like crazy to me. Anyway,
Oh yeah, speaking of the Obama era, so when I was in 8th grade, that was when I was slowly shifting, but I was still an advocate for gay rights. I still didn't really like hate women or anything like that. I just wasn't for killing all men. Because there was this hashtag called Kill All Men that was really popular back then. And this was still during the Obama era. And I remember when the gay marriage actually got passed. And what happened was my 8th grade teacher gathered us all around her desk to watch Obama make a speech about how happy he was that it actually passed. And she was livid about the fact that it did pass because, gays are bad, gays are evil. Keep in mind, I went to a Catholic school, so, they weren't exactly a fan of the gays. Meanwhile, she was fuming about Obama being happy about this. I was stating there fuming that she was upset about this because she was a homophobic bigot. And for the record, I want gay marriage repealed now, all these years later. I don't like the gays. I just, took some time to realize that.
at this time I was like 23, 24, working at a makeup counter in the mall, and I noticed all the people around me were changing. Their personalities were shifting. They were becoming like very unfunny and like offended at everything. It was very weird. One example that sticks out in my mind for some reason was my friend screamed in my other friend's ear. My friend was like, "Ah, you're gonna make me go deaf." And then my other friend was like, "That's not funny. My brother's half deaf." I don't know why that one sticks out, but like that was a pivotal moment where I was like, what the fuck is going on? Also, we later found out that her brother was in fact not half deaf, but anyway, the only thing I traced it back to was they all used the same website.
This video is mostly about...
Yeah.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Same reaction shoes. This bitch. God, what's her name again? I can't. Is she just called Red? If I remember correctly. Because there's obviously like a Trigglypuff, and then there's the Screeching Karen when Trump got elected. This bitch was famous for a while first. She was like one of the OG like mocking women on the internet situation. Big Red. Okay, Big Red. Yeah. And yes, the source of my SJW-ness was also from Tumblr. It's always Tumblr.
Oh my god, is that Big Red? Oh my god, just blast from the past with this face here. This woman should get some kind of like compensation for being on so many YouTubers' thumbnails. She was the face of the triggered feminist SJW for years.
Number one, shut the f up for a second. Now, if you would shut the f up,
God, this video.
And then it was this other person. Where are these people?
The thing about Big Red, she was before the Screaming Karen, because this bitch was when Trump got elected. They were protesting at the White House, and this lesbian just had a complete fucking meltdown and was recorded live, going, "No!" It's fucking hilarious. But Big Red was suddenly before her.
Where are these people nowadays? I wonder what they're up to.
Tumblr is the reason there is just this outbreak and infestation of SJWs, ruining my internets and ruining my real life and just sucking the sense of humor out of so many people I know.
Tumblr was very popular back then, but there was like some dark evil energy coming from it, and I sensed it. And at the time, that is where I thought all this woke SJW shit was coming from. Little did I know, like, a lot of these people on Tumblr were college kids. All this like rape culture, white supremacist bullshit was coming from the college classroom. And at the time I didn't know, I was just a humble makeup salesman, so I was really confused and I felt like I was going crazy. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to boot up the Shoe0nHead channel, I'm gonna vent and make a video, nobody's gonna fucking see it, I don't care. As far as I knew, there was no other videos online talking about this subject, so I just filmed it, edited it, uploaded it, and left. Like, I didn't check the comment section, and I didn't even know that Thunderfoot, a YouTuber, shared my video, and that's how it originally.
Fuck, I forgot about Thunderfoot. I know he was friends with Sargon for a while, but then when Trump got elected, he got TDS, and that friendship kind of fell apart. Because the thing about the skeptic community is that once politics really got more involved with things, it split between basically the anti-SJWs and Atheism Plus. And so like Armor Skeptic, sorry Shoe, Sargon. So Sargon was always a little bit more political by default. Obviously Shoe herself and a few others I watched. And you know, basically they were all the anti-SJWs. And then the Atheism Plus was Amazing Atheist, The Bible Reloaded, Dark Matter 2525. Though Dark Matter 2025 refused to talk about political stuff for a very, very long time. So I'll give him credit for there. But then I find out a few years ago that he became a massive leftist, so yeah, that happened. But yeah, big schism within the group.
Blew up. And from there, I found out, oh, there's more people who agree with me. I found like Sargon of Akkad and like the Honey Badgers. It was crazy to feel like, oh, I'm not going insane. Things are changing.
They're all in this big competition to see who could be the most progressive and the most tolerant, at the same time being the most annoying and the most intolerant people that I've ever met in my life. It is just a big, it's the oppression Olympics. Labeling yourself as a feminist, stop it. It is not a movement anymore. You do not need it. Nobody needs it. You have every single right that every guy has now. Like most feminists on the internet just hate men.
Now, if you can believe it, and this might be hard to believe while watching this video, this was transgressive back in the day. This was like crazy to hear online back then, especially coming from a woman. We're saying things like, oh, feminism is doo-doo, and like obvious ass shit, like people have a victim complex these days. That was like sacrilegious. And now it's like nothing. Now it's like wallpaper. Everyone thinks that. Every day there's like a new racist e-girl popping up and saying the N-word and then falling off a week later. Like if this video—
That's me!
video came out today, it would get like no views because it's the most basic shit ever. This video almost got me fired from my job, you know, like they found out where I worked, they called my boss, they were like, she hates women, like all this stuff. When it first blew up, most of the comments were negative. It was just a bunch of angry women being like, you're a handmaiden of the patriarchy. Like this was before the term pick-me existed. Handmaiden of the patriarchy. That goes kind of hard. Can we bring that back? Okay, so
I'm pretty sure Pick Me was around at that time. I could have sworn I saw that on Tumblr a few times. But yeah, feminism was the big bad. Matches Girl, the guy who got, like, she brought up the whole guy who got lost his job for wearing the sexy women. The whole Gamergate thing, where they got rid of like the booth babes from the different gaming conventions and things like that because it was objectifying women. Quite a few articles were being written about these things from like Kotaku, Vice. Obviously feminist frequency, but the thing about Nia Sarkeesian is that she went with Zoe Quinn to the United Nations to talk about the evils of the patriarchy and how amazing feminism is. She got the bag and she won. And same with Zoe Quinn. Zoe Quinn actually made a guy commit suicide over fake allegations. Once again, wow, seems to be common denominator when you ruin a guy's life over a fucking lie. Maybe don't do that, you fucking whores. But yeah, Zoe Quinn helped the guy basically made a guy commit suicide, and then she worked with the guy's sister to take over his company and ruin that. So she she definitely won in the end in that aspect, unfortunately. And Nia Sarkeesian is still winning to this day because it was really revealed earlier this year that Slay the Spire 2 game had Nia Sarkeesian working as a consultant. She's doing well for himself. Feminist Frequency as a YouTube channel may have died, but these people are still alive and kicking and still advocating for the exact same thing. We lost the culture war chat, but we have to keep on fighting it because, well, what else are we supposed to do?
So that was the first video. Let's watch another one, shall we? This is called Social Justice League vs. Gamers.
You may or may not have noticed, I've been fully immersed in this whole Gamergate thing since it started like 2 months ago.
Gamergate was 2 months ago? Oh my God. For those of you who don't know what Gamergate was, you know what? Don't worry about it. It's not important. Some woman allegedly.
I mean, I don't think it's not important because, I mean, I think it was a joke that she did there because the thing about Gamergate is that it's a really long explanation, though I'm pretty sure I cut her off before she did it. But I do think it's important because that basically spurred the online rant into what it is. It launched multiple people's careers, like Shoe, like Sargon, inspired many others to do basically kind of the same, and we wouldn't have the same right-wing discourse that we have today without Gamergate. Gamergate's a huge formation of the internet, and it hurt the left badly. Even though they won, it still hurt the left a lot because you can thank Gamergate for Trump winning in 2016. We were listening to Shadowlay and trying to free Kekistan in 2016, and Trump winning really hurt them a lot. And then the whole 2020 election, obviously, and now in 2024 he won again. So Gamergate is not something just to scoff at and be like, oh, that happened 10 years ago situation. It was essential to the internet and political discourse. It helped inspire Elon to buy Twitter. It's a cultural touchstone for the modern age.
He slept with someone and now the Strait of Hormuz is closed. Things happened in between
Literally.
that, but
Oh my god, there's a
that's
meme.
basically the gist. Editing Shoe here. I decided to actually put in a brief explanation because genuinely a lot of you might not know. Gamergate kicked off when game devs and game journalists were accused of sleeping with each other for better game reviews. A bunch of journalists then coordinated anti-gamer hit pieces, all coming out around the exact same day, saying things like gamers are dead and focusing on how sexist and white and male gaming spaces were. It was a mess that went on for like 3 years, arguably longer, and many people cite it as one of the first major culture wars online. People went to the
That's exactly what I was talking about Nina Sarkeesian and Zoe Quinn. F those whores. Well, actually, don't f them. They probably have AIDS. But them before you do while you're at it. I don't fucking care what happens to these bitches. They need to. I probably shouldn't advocate for two. But anyways, they need to be punished severely.
UN to talk about sexism in gaming. There was even a Law and Order episode about evil sexist gamers.
These guys, they just can't stand women in gaming. What did they do to you? They leveled up.
Also, Logan
leveled
Paul
up!
was in that episode for some reason. It was a weird time. Anyway.
Seeing good friends of mine get labeled as misogynist, sexist, racist, only for enjoying video games and seeing through this very obvious agenda pushing 100% no. I honestly could not imagine being so deluded that you actually make yourself believe that all gamers are white, cis males who are worse than ISIS. I'm not even mad, I'm actually like impressed that these people have the ability. They're like champions of mental gymnastics of the oppression Olympics.
SJW logic and facts. Oh my god.
Coming in like, I don't like this, I don't like that. I don't like this. This character doesn't look like me. She's not frumpy and below average. It makes me insecure. Change it. Change this. I don't like this. I don't like that. I don't even play that, but I don't like it. There could be a fucking...
See, I know she was cringing at this because it's old, bad camera, because she had the potato camera and all that fun stuff. But like, once again, all these videos can still be applied today, and they're still funny. There are still women and video games are still being nerfed heavily because to be ugly fucking bitches. Or people are being, you know, race swapped and everything like that. And you still see it in modern games. Things haven't changed. Things have only gotten worse. And so these videos are still funny and topical. And they're gymworlds, though. They should be appreciated and loved dearly. Plus, they help launch Shoe in the first place. And, well, it's always nice to have Shoe around, right?
Black, Mexican, Chinese, demisexual, lesbian, feminist, otherkin in a wheelchair with no legs and shit. And these crybabies would still not be happy.
Oh my god, nothing has changed. Nothing
That's
has
my
changed.
point.
They still f***ing do this shit. They
Yes.
still invade nerdy male spaces and force them to cater to them. They're still purposely making female characters like ugly and frumpy. You still can't pander to them because they'll never be happy.
Take a look at this.
It's a frightening and disgusting trend in the world of online gaming. Hackers rewriting code to simulate sexual assault.
Wait,
Sam Meggs stopped playing online over a year
Is it about
ago
the
because of
Facebook
what
stuff?
she calls a misogynistic mentality that already exists in the world of gaming. The graphics are so good, this attack is eerily realistic. Eerily realistic.
Oh, that's sex? I've been doing it wrong? God damn!
oh my
Oh
god.
my god, I forgot all about the traffic cone. My dad literally stole that traffic cone off the street from me. I was like, Dad, I need a traffic cone for this video I'm doing. He like took it off the street and he's like, here you go. He didn't even like ask what it was for. I was just like, thanks. Like, It's good to have a supportive father in your life.
Oh, is that why Philip asked me earlier if my dad would steal something for a video for me? Oh, that makes a lot more sense. Oh my god, that's actually great. Okay, I love my dad, but that's an amazing dad move that her dad did for her. Unfortunately, I love my dad dearly, but I don't think he would do that for me. I don't think he would steal a traffic cone for me to make a video. He'll just be like, I don't know, order one from Amazon.
So this one is called Average is Beautiful.
Race together? Wow, how progressive!
Oh my god, Race Together. I forgot all about this. In 2014, Starbucks did this thing called Race Together, where I shit you not, they made baristas write hashtag Race Together on the cups to encourage discussion about race relations with customers.
Oh yeah, let's get rid of race relation, like, tension by just making awkward conversation about race at Starbucks. Why?
They were forcing 18-year-old kids to have awkward-ass discussions with strangers about race. Yeah, can I get a tall cappuccino? Ah, yes, hello. I see you are a person of color. What the f were they smoking back then?
Like, I just imagine some black lady, like, on her way to work, walks into Starbucks, like, oh, can I have a latte, please? And the barista just like, ah! I see you are a woman of color.
Oh my god, I made the same fucking joke. I didn't even remember. That's I did it again. Wow, it's almost like we have the same brain or something.
Listen, social justice, you can, like, invade video games all you want, you can do whatever you want to comics, but don't touch my Disney. I will send the hounds on you.
Oh god. Nobody tell her. Nobody tell her. Nobody tell her.
Weird.
This one is called Internalized
That's how I feel about my Zelda. I absolutely adore The Legend of Zelda, and I see what they've done to Pokemon. I've seen what they've done to Mario, and I'm just waiting for the shoe to drop for Zelda, and I don't want that to happen. If they touch my Zelda, I'm gonna commit war crimes.
This one is called Internalized Misogyny.
If you're a woman capable of individual thought, you've probably had the term internalized misogyny thrown at you a few times. So, what is it exactly? Fucking retarded, the end. There are so many stupid feminist rebuttals, but I think internalized misogyny has to be, like, my top favorite. Right after she's doing it for male attention and she'll learn when she's older. She'll learn when she's older, as if one day it's just gonna be like,
Happy birthday to you.
holy shit! Manspreading is an issue!
I am literally
Still a good bit. A fucking W for her fucking parents there for being willing to record themselves doing that. Fucking wiping a cake off the table, probably landing on the floor and all that shit. Nothing's really changed. She's actually gotten further right, especially ever since she had got married with a kid. They definitely got that wrong, that's for sure.
older now than I was meant to be in that skit about the future. And I did not, in fact, learn when I got older. I got worse.
These people have an excuse and a buzzword for everything. Racist, sexist, MRA, right-wing, conservative, privileged.
Oh my god, MRA.
Men's right advocate.
MRAs. Oh my god. MRAs were men's rights activists. And before people were getting called like incel online for criticizing women or supporting men, they were being called MRA. Yes, it
Now, I used to consider myself an MRA for a time period, actually, because this is before the MRAs kind of went a little bit southward because of my mom and what she was doing, and also the internet, and just women in general just also being horrible people. I was like, okay, yeah, of course I'm going to be a men's right advocate. Why wouldn't I be? The men are screwed over in this system. They're fucked over in court. They're fucked over in finances. They're fucked over when it comes to jobs because they're being discriminated against for more black fucking tranny women and things like that. Fucked over in dating now, especially. To me, it was kind of like the opposite of feminism. I know MGTOW also has been gone through the shitter, but men going their own way, which is what MGTOW actually stands for, I kind of actually support that because I can't blame men for wanting to go their own way. When the dating scene's only gotten worse in these past 10 years. Do I fully support it? No, because at the end of the day, how else are we supposed to have more white kids? If white men aren't having babies with white women, then the white race will actually unironically die out. And that's not a good thing, because the white race has actually built civilization. Everything that's been created in the past, 600 plus years now, we would not have the computer that you're watching, a retarded woman on the internet yapping, well, two, without Western civilization, without white people. You would not have the car that you drive to work in. You would not have America, 99% of what we have today without white people. If white men aren't actually breeding with white women, we're never going to advance the civilization. We're never going to fix this either, because it's just going to be the brown hordes that are flooding in like they are in Spain at the moment, and they're just going to destroy everything, and nothing's going to be rebuilt. Nothing's going to be fought back. We're all going to turn the same shade of fucking shit, and everything's going to get a million times worse. So I can't fully support MGTOW because of that, but I also can't blame the men that do go their own way for doing so at the same time. Because, well, if I was a guy, I don't think I would want to deal with modern women either.
Was considered a insult back then to care about men's rights. This was before the modern red pill. This was before Andrew Tate, Clavicular, Fresh and Fit. We had like Roosh V.
For the longest time, I wanted to do a post on how to approach girls that are ordering a drink at the bar. So what I did is I went to the toy store and I bought
Brown disregarded
some dolls. These two are the cute girls who you want to have sex with.
That was our Andrew Tate back then.
MRA, right-wing, conservative, privilege. They do this to move the goalposts. So then you're like, oh wait, I'm not an MRA. This is why I'm not an MRA.
That's why you don't play the game. Like, I didn't know this at the time. I was naive and stupid, but you don't fight back. You don't go like, oh no, I'm not right-wing. I voted for Bernie. I have a gay friend. Like, no. Shut up. No. You just have to go, okay, and even if you're not, because literally all they have is the ists and the isms. Defending yourself from their thought-terminating buzzwords is just, it's useless. It's a waste of time. I wish I knew that back then. So this is my most viewed video ever.
That reminds me of Sargon, old Sargon back in the day, just begging this Atata Nina Sarkeesian, hoping that if he just made her realize the error of her ways and the thoughts that she was thinking, that she would change. But that's the thing about these people, is that they will never change. Well, I should say never, right? Because I used to be an SJW. I know a lot of people, a lot of guys in general on the political spectrum used to be like center left, center right, somewhere in that case, and have shifted more right wing, you know, going from Civ, Nat to F. So there's been a political shift in the vast majority of people over the years. So I'm not going to say they can never change. These people talking about these issues is very important, because Sargon has red-pilled many people. I mean, for fuck's sakes, he's got the Lotus Eaters now. He's got one of the biggest fucking media companies in Britain at the moment, and is making huge waves there and employing a bunch of guys all different sorts of thoughts than him. Sargon has done a lot to wake people up. So it is important to talk about these issues, but for the head in the ground believers, you're not going to change them. And a lot of these people are malicious on purpose, like Anita Sarkeesian, who are doing it for the money. They do believe what they're saying, but they also realize they can make money at the same time. And that's what that's what Hassan is. That's what Destiny is. You know, that's what all these people are. And you're not going to change them.
10 million views. Demonetized. Haven't seen a single cent from that video.
Holy
awesome.
shit.
Anyway.
So we all know BuzzFeed is the internet equivalent of ass cancer.
I kind of feel bad for her. She could be making, I mean, she's making bank regardless, but I mean, come on. You can make even more bank.
We know this, and I'm pretty sure the website is a government experiment created to test my patience.
Is that a Mr. Meeksy shirt? Oh my god, dude, back when Rick and Morty was funny.
They're known for hits like, let's get fat women to do poses only fit gymnasts can do, being a woman is hard because compliments, and damage control the video. So without further ado, I present to you 36 questions feminists have for men.
BuzzFeed by far was the biggest one. I will never, ever forget the thing they did with, I believe they were called the Try Guys, where they each took a testosterone test, and every single one of them, there was like 3 or 4 guys, had lower testosterone than an elderly man. And it was just like, holy shit. And this was also roughly around the time of Alex Jones turning the freaking frogs gay. And it's like, wait, maybe Alex Jones is right. Maybe they are turning the freaking frogs gay. And lo and behold, they actually are turning the freaking frogs gay. The soy. And then on top of that too, the most egregious in my opinion, is that the birth control, the hormonal birth control, mostly the pill, but the implant, the IUD, the patches, all different forms of hormonal birth control that a woman can take does not get filtered by the water supply. It doesn't. And so that estrogen and all these other chemicals are going into the water supply and unironically are making men more feminine and women more developed too. There's a reason why girls are getting puberty at younger ages and starting their periods and developing and all that fun stuff. But there's a reason why 16-year-old girls look like they're 25, and it's really easy to get jailbaited because of that. So it technically affects men and women, but I would say men most affected in this case.
We're just pumping out videos like this constantly. Every week, another mass-produced corpo slop, anti-man, anti-white video.
So when you see the word white, what comes to mind?
Privilege. I think power.
We can never let this happen again. I don't care if Trump blows up the world, okay? They can make Israel a 51st state, as long as I never have to hear,
Hey, fellow white guys.
ever again.
How does it feel to be the same sex as Donald Trump?
How does it feel to be the same sex as someone I personally politically disagree with? The man is literally Satan to these people. Like, they could have said Hitler. And they basically meant Hitler. Trump is their Hitler. It's very trendy to hate Trump right now.
Nothing's
wow.
I'm pretty left-leaning, but I've been called a Trump supporter like 6 times in the past few months.
6 times? 6 times? Oh, you poor baby. Try 6,000. At the time, the
Try 6 million.
woke, anti-SJW genre was mostly full of liberals. It was mostly liberals criticizing, all of this stuff, all of this woke behavior. We all saw this as not real liberalism. This isn't the real left. The real left cares about, real equality and workers' rights and blah, 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 blah. We wanted to call our side out. Obviously, that didn't work, but we tried.
Why do you have to sit with your legs so wide open?
Men have balls.
Oh my god, manspreading. One of the top issues people would talk about nonstop back then was men sitting with their legs slightly open on public transportation. It was seen as some patriarchal statement of power or some shit. Every week we had to hear about manspreading.
Manspreading is when a man spreads his physical body to take up as much space as humanly possible.
What happened to all these little pet issues they were all upset about? I guess people can't afford houses now, right? They can't find jobs. I don't think they have energy to talk about the pink tax or manspreading or whatever.
Why are straight guys so obsessed with lesbians?
Wow, this chocolate bar sure is good. But you know what would make it better? Wow, another chocolate bar. 2 of a thing I like. Together.
People still come to my channel to this day and leave comments on my videos like, are you the chocolate bar girl? My legacy.
Why do I deserve to be paid?
One of my favorite bits about her was she's got I think it was called the pink tax button, if I remember correctly. And she would hit the button. No, not the pink tax. It's about the women getting paid less than men, right? Because the whole women get paid 25 cents less than men on average, blah, 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 blah. And so the wage gap button. And she would take it and then she would hit it. And it would be a recording of her talking about the wage gap isn't real. And I'm like, yeah, that still gets brought up to this day.
Less than you?
Oh! It's right there! It's right there! Didn't realize it came from the same video. It's been so long since I watched it. Oh my god. I'm gonna rewind so we can appreciate it in its full glory.
My legacy.
Why do I deserve to be paid less than you?
The wage gap is simply the average earnings of men and women working full-time. It does not count for different job positions, hours worked, or different jobs. It has nothing to do with the same job. It has nothing to do with discrimination.
So the reason I have a butt.
I love that one. I love that one so much.
Oh. That debunks the wage gap is because back in the day you could not escape hearing about the fucking fake ass 77-cent wage gap bullshit. I don't think you hear about the wage gap anymore because young women are starting to out earn young men, so that's a little awkward.
Why are women perceived as the weaker?
That's a bad problem, but no, unironically, women shouldn't make anything at all. Women should be fucking chained to the kitchen only to make cookies and food for her husband and her 5 kids bare minimum, with another one on the way, baking in her own personal oven. That's it. They shouldn't be working whatsoever. I don't fucking care. The only thing they should be working on right now is making loaves of bread. But to be a little bit more serious for a second, I mean, I am actually kind of serious about that. But to be a little bit more serious, statistics have come out that if women earn more than men, it obviously hurts men, but it also means that they don't have kids. So when women earn more, they don't have kids and they don't get in relationships. But when men earn more, they get married and then they have kids. And like the happiness for both people go up significantly. So by women earning more than men, it's literally killing civilization.
Sex. Because on average, we are. It's a fact. Trigger warning. Facts.
Libs owned. Trigger warning. Facts. Okay, Ben Shapiro, calm down. I thought that was such a mic drop.
Are you intimidated by a woman who makes more money than you? That's awesome. More money.
So when women make less, it's called the wage gap. But when men make less, it's just more money. Sorry, I'm like responding to the old video instead of my video. I forget how stupid these talking points were, dude. And sorry, I'm just watching these videos. I'm thinking about all the fucking people on Reddit who are like, Shoe0nHead sent me down the alt-right pipeline. Really? This is what did it? How the fuck is it my responsibility if you watch milquetoast ass shit like this and start goose stepping? I went down the alt-right pipeline. I was a Nazi. First of all, no, you weren't. No, you weren't. You probably watched Ben Shapiro Owns College Liberal compilations, and then some other YouTuber years later told you that's what being a Nazi is, and that actually having the politics of a Walmart HR department is salvation. Like, can we fucking relax? I'm sorry, I don't understand the YouTubers and streamers from this era who have like trolls remorse about this shit, that feel guilty for making fun of this stuff back then because they think them making fun of this stuff gave rise to Trump and whatever. It's like, no, this stuff gave rise to Trump, not you reacting to it. Like, why wouldn't you make fun of this shit? It's ridiculous and it's counterproductive. Like, you wonder why so many Gen Z men are further right than like boomer men. It's not because they watched a YouTuber called BuzzFeed cringe, right? It's because BuzzFeed and things like it, the media, academia, the culture that they grew up in, a reactionary movement needs something to react to. Like, this shit, as goofy as it was harmful. It was harmful to society in general, and it was harmful to like the left because this is how people saw the left. Trump wasn't elected specifically because BuzzFeed, right? I'm like, that's stupid. But there was this like slingshot effect against woke one. But more importantly, there was a hole in politics left from a do-nothing neoliberal neocon establishment that was just waiting to be filled by a populist, and Trump filled that hole. Trump filled America's hole. He got America pregnant, and 9 months later, out pops a war with Iran. And America's—
I want to let her speak because she's talking about something seriously here, and I've been interrupting her whole entire video. Everything she's saying is true, but I want to add that back in the day, during this time period, because she brought up the whole alt-right pipeline, there were articles being read claiming that Sargon and others were the alt-right pipeline, how dangerous they are, how they're neo-Nazis and all that fun stuff. Ooh, scary. You know, and, you know, we all just kind of laughed at it, being like, what do you— Sargon's not a Nazi. What are you talking about here? He's the furthest thing from a Nazi. But now looking back, I would say, and they probably don't appreciate me saying this, but yes, they are the alt-right pipeline because they showed to me and to millions of others what BuzzFeed was doing, or what Biden and Obama were doing, what the failures of Trump, what Israel's doing, whatever the topic really is. These people are discussing it and talking about it and showing it to the masses, and either well-informed, you know, hard political takes like Sargon, or in funny little bits like Shoe, and everyone kind of like in between. And so, yeah, that has made me go further right, because I was, like I said before, an SJW, unironically. And then I started watching Sargon and all these other people, and I was like, what the fuck is this shit? I don't support this whatsoever. And I'm realizing that you can't speak to these people. You can't change their mind. They want you dead. They unironically want you dead. They hate you because you're white. They hate you because you're a man. And they want to destroy your life. They want to destroy civilization. Yeah, I started not becoming an SJW because of the whole kill men stuff. That kind of led me to them in the first place because I was turned off by that. But I don't think I would have gone anywhere near extreme as I have without seeing how bad the left is. And it's thanks to them for showing that.
It's like, I didn't ask for this. Well, why'd you open your legs, whore? Sorry. You were asking for it. Okay. Sorry. Anyway, now people online are like, oh, woke 2 is gonna be great. Woke 2 is gonna hit like crack.
If you thought we were woke before, you done went and woke the beast. Welcome to Woke 2.0.
Which lesbians have not changed?
You want Hitler too? Because that's how you get Hitler too. We are not doing this shit again. I would kindly advise against it. If you look at everything happening now, like literal pedophiles running the world, bills being passed to merge our military with foreign militaries, a bunch of AI surveillance cameras popping up everywhere, bombs we pay for with our tax dollars against our will going to blow up children. All of this shit seems extremely petty and unimportant. But it was part of this like deeply subversive, destructive rot in society. I used to always say that culture war was a distraction from class war, and for the most part I still kind of think that's true, but I can walk and chew bubblegum at the same time, you know? I could want the rich to pay their fair share and also want my children to grow up in a world where it's not socially acceptable to hate them. Yeah, these videos were...
See, this is where I disagree with Shoe. The rich already do pay their fair share. They already do pay more taxes than poor people. By a lot. The problem is the taxes in general in the welfare state. We are feeding the NWAs that want us dead. Everyone's on disability because of veterans benefits and stuff like that, or just being like 300 pounds overweight. And the single mothers that just pop out 5 different kids and 5 different baby daddies. So that we have so many problems in the welfare state. Oh my god, obviously the Somalian scam in Minnesota. That's not just, by the way, not just Somalians that do this. And it's not just Minnesota that has this problem. I just want to keep that in mind. With the daycare and autism centers. Like, we have so many leeches that are feeding off of it. That's the main problem at hand. Would a welfare state be nice? Maybe. If it's in a perfect society with specifically whites, and the white is the key here because the whites are the only ones that have a high trust society, then it could maybe work. But in the current America, that's not possible.
A little cringe and like, I don't think they aged that poorly. Some of the jokes were really cringe and like, facts and logic, liberals. Pretty much do the same videos, but now they're more like organized and structural and scripted. I do the same videos, but in a more medicated sort of way. Big Vivans has taken away your millennial quirk chunguses. Big Pharma won't let me go merp. So that was that video. I thought it would be fun to do. What did you guys think? If you want to see my full, raw, unedited reaction to my first video, there is a bonus video up on my Patreon right now. Link down below.
What the fuck?
Also, all Patreon members get every single video a day early, uncensored, no bleeps. I'm also doing Patreon-only live streams now, so I would love to see you guys there. Lots of stuff going on. Link down below. Join today. We want you. Join the Shoe Simps. Join the SS today. Also, a big thank you again to today's...
Funny that she mentioned the Patreon live streams, because when I went to the bathroom earlier, I literally thought to myself, imagine how like much money she could make from doing live streams. Like, she'd be making millions. Imagine the viewership and the amount of super chats on a Shoe live stream.
Sponsor Ground News. Go check them out. Link down below. And I will see you guys with a new video. Bye!
Sims of Amalgamyte. SA. I kind of like that. We need a sexual assault more often. Minus the fact that I don't like the word simp personally. Oh. We both said oh at the same time. I saw that. I was like, oh my god, that's gonna be painful. Oh, lordy and high. That was a really good video. Definitely a blast from the past, even if it is quite blackpilling at the same time, because of the fact that nothing's really changed. Only things have gotten worse. So, and that's upsetting. That's a bit upsetting, but she's funny, so it works out. It works out in the end.